Oi oi cheeky! This Thursday tipple is all about changing the blades in a table saw. So let's get going. So when you buy your table saw, you get one of these and another one which I no longer have, purely for the fact that it broke. So you need both of these to change a blade in your table saw. One is to hold the arbor in place so it's nice and rigid, and this one goes over the nut and then you can release it that way. So I'm going to show you a way that you can change your blade without the need of that second spanner. Right, crude I know, but quick example. This screw here is your arbor. Now this is the main threaded rod that goes into the motor and spins with the blade attached. And on this side is where the other spanner would go to hold the arbor in place. So as you can see, there is a flat spot on there, and the spanner would go over there. You then mount it between these two here, so you get a nice fix of the blade and it's not going to be moving around. So what do we do if we've only got one of the spanners? Or even still, if you haven't even got this one, you can use one of these. It's adjustable and it can fit over there nicely. As soon as I've got this one, I'm going to use it. Now I'm going to use something that's flat and rigid. Place it between one of the teeth on the saw blade, and now that's not going to move anywhere, that's going to be held nice and rigid. I'm going to place my spanner into place over that thread and release it. So there we go, we've taken it out, and there's the nut and the washer as well. So now this is out, you can exchange it for a new one, or you can go around and sharpen your teeth. Okay, so now we're taking it out, let's put it back in. So it goes in the same way, teeth facing this way in forward rotation. It goes over, and there's like a little collar there that fits onto. Then this one, the washer goes on. Also, it all tightens down and makes it all nice and secure. Nut goes in roughly. The ruler now goes on this side because we're going to be tightening it this way. So we need to make it nice and rigid. So we're going to place it again between one of the teeth on that part. Get in the spanner. Can now tighten that down into place. And there we go, that's all nicely fixed into place. Now try and be really careful when you're doing this. It's a good idea if you're new to changing blades to cover this with either a towel or something like that, just so you don't put your hand anywhere near these blades, as they are extremely sharp. Right, so the next tip, because you're all really lucky you're going to get 2 tips this week because I haven't been able to put out Thursday tipple for a while. I made this recently. It's a radiator cover, and I'll put up a few pictures of the front in a second. And I made these drawers here, and although they're exactly the same, all the same depths, they have different positions on this bit here. Don't know really why, but there we go. So I had to come up with a way of being able to set these drawers into place so when you're on the front, all you see is a nice flat finish. I toyed up with a couple of ideas of how to do this. I thought of maybe putting a stop on the back, but that wouldn't work because obviously it would go back too far. I also thought about putting blocks here to make as a stop, but again that wouldn't work purely for the fact that I just don't have enough room here to put those or glue those blocks into place. So I came up with this idea here. If I take one off, I can show you exactly what it is. So as you can see, it's just a little block of MDF, which I've cut roughly, and it's got 3 screws in it. Got the main screw here that goes into the frame of the radiator cover, and these 2 screws here. These 2 screws are a lot shorter than the main screw, and this is purely so we can adjust it as far back or forward as we need to, so when the drawer sits on it, it will sit absolutely flush on the front. So as you can see, all the drawers are now absolutely lovely and flush with the front of the cabinet. So we can take these out, and you'll never see those at the back because you're always at a nice height, so you'll never see anything below there. And anyway, you're not going to be taking these out very often anyway. Now I know that you're not going to always be able to do this with every application of your furniture, purely for the fact that they do take up quite a bit of space at the back of the drawers. But I can do that because the radiator will only be coming up to about there when it goes into place. So all this area at the back is going to be open, just so I can get as much airflow as possible. So I hope you've liked today's tips and they come in useful, and hopefully you can now go on and use those in future projects. Until the next time, I'll see you soon.
How come you're touching it then?
How comes I'm touching it? Because I'm Wellard.
Maybe tell the people like things that could go over it that won't like get spiked or anything.
Cause a towel.
Yeah, but a towel and the bits the.
I'm getting technical advice from my director.